Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mego Museum Mint Off Card. I am Brian, your host, and this week I am very happy to announce we will be going in, through, and beyond the black hole in the form of these new figures from Super 7. And I freely admit that I'm probably the last guy on the block to get these due to some super slow shipping, but there's no way I can let new black hole figures go by without talking about them. If you're not a fan of this channel or haven't checked out my videos, I loved the black hole as a kid. I was obsessed. To me, it was every bit as good as Star Wars, and I still sincerely love the film, and I'm always looking at merchandise, especially new merchandise. A while back, I did a review of the Diamond Select figures, which I really enjoyed. But these ones are in a scale closer to my heart, and of course, they connect back to the Mego toy line in terms of scale. Mego famously had the master toy license for the black hole. They paid a whole bunch for it back in the 1970s, and it was something of a disappointment, with the film receiving mixed reviews and the toys kind of falling flat. That was not for lack of me trying. I had every single figure. I had the comic books, the novelizations, the book and record set. I was hardcore. And it's really wonderful to see this first wave, and I hope it's the first wave, and I'll get into that, of these figures in the form of Maximillian, Vincent, and Old Bob. I think Old Bob might be the most interesting one to a lot of collectors in the United States. Mego famously cut short the black hole toy line before it could include Old Bob in the United States, leaving Old Bob to be exclusive to basically Italy and Canada. Advantage Canada. So it's really great that a lot of collectors are getting a proxy figure that won't cost them like $400 on eBay. The packaging has sparked a little bit of controversy. I personally think it's fantastic. Like, Super 7 does not disappoint with packaging, and this one is. They've done something very different here, and it's very eye-catching. The argument against them is similar to when they do a DVD box set and they make it the shape of Homer's head and it doesn't fit with your set. I get that, but I totally think this is fine for the black hole set, and I also don't care because I'm going to take these off the cards anyways, but reluctantly, because this is a really nice display piece. I just have no more wall space. The back of the card is not only very nicely laid out, but very faithful to the film, showing that space grid. And I do love the, little hint at the original Mego packaging logo. That is what was on the front of the cards for the classic Mego black hole figures. So I'm going to take these off the card. We're going to do some fun shenanigans with them. And then I'm going to tell you what I think of them and what I think Super 7 should do next. Hopefully they're listening. Hang tight. Let's go. So the first thing I want to talk about with regards to these Super 7 Black Hole figures is the articulation. I opened these expecting there wouldn't be any articulation. These designs are not really a toy maker's dream. I know Mego had lots of articulation for their figures, and that stuff broke. That stuff broke easy. So I was kind of curious, and I largely assumed these were basically like vinyl figures on stands, and they didn't do anything. So kudos to Super 7 for actually giving them some. Limited as they are. Maximillian's head turns, as it does in the film, and they've got his claws out, and you can move them from side to side. And he really is a tough figure to capture. Mego didn't give him any such features when they originally designed him in the 1970s. Vincent has the ability to push his head down, as he does in the film, and his claw comes out, and I think that's great. There's really not a lot you can do with Vincent. I guess you could add guns on there, but that's pretty fantastic. And old Bob, they are actually more accurate in their design than Mego was, because they gave old Bob 2 feet so that they could put him in a stand. Super 7 had the freedom to actually do a screen accurate old Bob, and it looks fantastic, but yeah, it doesn't have much articulation. Old Bob didn't really do much. The second thing I want to mention is the scale, and basically when I put these next to the vintage figures, for a minute they looked wrong, and that's because I was really thinking in terms of figure versus figure, and now I've come to realize that the Mego figures were very small. They were scaled quite small. And when you look at Vincent and Bob, they're actually bigger than I remembered. And I seem to recall a scene where they're actually riding him at one point. So yeah, Vincent and Bob were actually a significant size. So this jives more with the movie than the Mego line. Same goes for the Maximillian. In fact, he's just a little more impressive and looming, and I like that very much. The next thing I want to bring up is the stands. It's inevitable with these designs for characters that float that you need some sort of stand. And I would very much like to tip my cap to Super 7 for creating a very uncomplicated, simple stand that works perfectly and won't break. One of the follow-ups to the Diamond Select Black Hole figures was their stands were extremely problematic, too complicated, and they just kept falling apart on me. These are exactly what they should be, just a pole and a stand, and the figure looks like it's floating in the air, and you don't think about it. Well done. Excellent job. I think the paint is fantastic on these. The details are nice, not overly complicated, but it gets the point across. It's nice to see a shiny chrome Bob like he looked on this Topps trading card I think I still have from my childhood. And now I would like to pen a letter to the folks at Super 7 who are probably not watching, but hope springs eternal. Essentially, this is great. This is fantastic, and I hope they sell very well because they should. However, please don't leave money on the table. And no, I'm not talking about Ernest Borgnine. I hope that doesn't get me banned from ErnieCon 2023. I really miss you guys. However, there are some very important characters missing from this. First off would be the humanoid. Oh my god. The one figure most people are missing from their collections is the humanoid because it was only really sold in Canada. And the beauty of the humanoid is you can also sell a variant of the astronaut humanoid, the one character from the Black Hole that did not get an action figure back in the day. Right that wrong. The other nice thing is that humanoids are army builders, and, you know, I personally would buy 5 just to put on my Cygnus playset, and I can't be alone. The other figure, obviously, is the Sentry Robot, a classic design, an iconic design. It is literally the stormtroopers of the Black Hole universe, And of course, they are army builders again, especially if they came with those black hole pistols, those sweet black hole pistols. But again, there is a variant in the form of STAR, another figure a lot of people don't have because it was only sold. So if you're watching this, Super 7 folks, hopefully you've already thought of this. I really think you probably have, but I just couldn't not say it. So that is my look at the Super 7 Black Hole Vincent, Old Bob, and Maximillian. I highly recommend these. I know some folks find the Super 7 price point a bit dear, but when you're getting this niche and this well done, me personally, I can't afford every Super 7 figure I like, and I have to kind of pick my battles. This was an easy one. I didn't have to talk myself in. I had ordered these before I saw them. I just thought, yeah, I'm in. And I'm super happy with the purchase. I got these through Entertainment Earth, who is a sponsor of ours. There is a link below if you'd like to order them through that. It really helps me out. However, it's always super noble to get them from your local comic shop. That really helps out the little guy and the small business. So wherever you get them, it's all good. I just personally give them my Oprah thumbs up thingy. That's all the time I have for this installment of Mint Off Card. If you like what I do in this channel, please consider checking out my store. We do a vintage toy magazine called Toy Ventures. We're on issue 10 now. I also have books and action figures and collectible pins. So thanks for considering it. Thanks for watching. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe. I do stuff like this every week. If you're not new, please consider hitting like and share. That really helps out the channel. Until next time, be well and buy what you like. Cheers.